This is going to be ugly.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first game on site at Feasterville. Right now, our Temple Roller Hockey Division 1 team is getting ready to take on Northeastern. If you tuned in this morning, you saw our B team fall to Rowan 2-1, and then our Division 3 team fall to Kutztown by a final score of 11-1. Got plenty more hockey to come to you here today. We've got a 2 o'clock game, D1, against Northeastern. Then we've got 3 o'clock B team taking on Slippery Rock, and 4 o'clock D3 taking on Syracuse. Right at the bottom portion of your screen, Steven Jastro will get the start for the Temple Owls, who was a standout in the B team second semester of last year. The starting four for the Owls: Matthew Pemper, Matthew Phillips, Rob DiGregorio, and Jonathan Bebby. 3 of those 4 names also come from the B team last year. Pemper, the returning captain. Pass is intercepted right around the red line by Rob DiGregorio. An early 3-on-1. Pemper backdoor to Phillips, and Phillips fanned on the shot. Valid opportunity for the Owls early. However, Phillips unable to capitalize. Nice back check, however, ran into by Bebby. And Bebby will pick it up and turn the other way. Owls will retreat to set it up. Phillips with Bebby on his left looks across over to Pemper. Bebby picks up the puck in the corner. Now Northeastern will regroup. Northeastern unable to generate an attack so far in these first 2 minutes of play. First change as Matthew Pemper will exit for Shane Ryan, a member of last year's B team that head to Nationals. Nice stick work by Jonathan Bebby. Right at the red line, intercept the pass. He continues to dig. He's got a man creeping in the slot. Looks into DiGregorio. Pass was intercepted on the way in. Ryan on the back check. Luca Ront seeing his first time today. Shot just wide by Northeastern. Number 5, Donovan. Donovan curls around the front of the net. Good poke check by Jastro. Ten minutes remaining in the first period. I'd like to thank you for tuning in on Ustream. This is our experimental phase, if you will. This is Walt Ruff from the Division 3 team broadcasting live here at Feasterville. D1's first of 2 games on the day. They will play their third tomorrow. B has 2 games here today, as does D3. 2, 3, 4 right in a row. Over at Northeast Racket Club, we were down in the corner giving you the point of view. Now we have a little bit of a better vantage point here if you're shooting towards the top of your screen, which our Owls are at the moment. However, angling down, we'll have to cut off a little action behind the net. Jastro makes a save now, and Northeastern will regroup. Play in the bottom left part of your screen, as I mentioned. Still struggling to get proper vantage point. That shot comes up right in front of us. Back here after a brief camera adjustment. Northeastern really controlling play here. They walk in. On the rink right now, we've got Zalot, Bebby, Pemper, and Phillips going off on a chain. Phillips will go for Di Gregorio. Again, Owls are in the white, shooting towards the top portion of your screen. This one dumped into the bottom left corner by Northeastern. Pemper holds it behind his own goal line. Bebby will curl around. Miscommunication there. Pemper now has Rob Di Gregorio curling up the right-hand side of your screen. Di Gregorio will tip it in. Zalot chases. Zalot unable to come up with a puck, and now Northeastern just misses on a pass that would have sprung them the other way quickly. Bebby chips out to center, just missing Tim Price, making his Temple roller hockey and Division I debut. Price played ice hockey for Widener University last year, however transferred to Temple, and now looks to bring his talents to the sport court instead of the ice. That one takes a weird hob just past the Northeastern goalie. Price looks into the slot for Di Gregorio, however, unable to connect. Six and a half minutes remaining in the first period. Northeastern had two men creeping behind the play, unable to connect, play in the bottom left portion as Bebby battles with Melvin, number 6 from Northeastern. Bebby spins out of the play and is cleared out to the top right portion of your screen. Nice pass across by Northeastern. Looked in, takes a shot, deflected wide by Shane Ryan. Bebby will settle the puck behind the net. Goes backhand over to Shane Ryan, who makes a nice move and will jump back to regroup. Ryan now with Pemper, Price, and Garant. He had Garant streaking right off the bench, however, couldn't find him. Still loose in front. Garant doesn't know it's right at his feet. He bumped the Northeastern goalie out of position. Pemper will chase as that one gets swung around the boards, and Garant will send it over to Shane Ryan. Good pass by Ryan down to Pemper. Pemper will throw it on net, blocked by a Northeastern defender in the slot. Coming down on the rush, Northeastern goes backhand behind the net. Toy number 91. Good stick work from Garant and pressure from Pemper as the Owls will move the other way. Shot just wide. Zach Cozy also making his Temple roller hockey debut. Nice pass across by Northeastern. Unable to connect Jastro, and that one just sneaks in. That one just got past Steven Jastro, and Northeastern takes an early 1-0 lead. Still adjusting our camera angle here. Apologize, we get a little bit better portion of the net now. This one just squirts wide. That one swung around the back. Phillips to the bottom portion of your screen. Sends that one up. Northeastern now going to walk in. Backhand drop pass in the slot. Still there. Just pushed aside by Jastro. Phillips attempting to move up the right side there is pinned by a Northeastern defender. Temper comes in to assist. Right down below us here. Shane Ryan on the left side now. Temper calls for the retreat. However, Ryan's going to step in, take a shot, just goes wide. Zaylot now digging in the corner for Temple. 3:13 remaining in the first period. Phillips pressuring down on Toy in the corner. Ryan comes flying in for a nice assist. There comes Ryan in the shot, the slot. Just fired wide. Temple having some trouble hitting the net here in the first period of this one. Temper will chase down in the corner. Temper now going to spring the other way quick, looking for Phillips, whoever will head off on a change. Northeastern taking their time, leaving their own zone. That one just deflected out of play by Jonathan Bevy. Faceoff should be just outside of the Temple bench. Price will take the draw for the Owls. One back, good win. DiGregorio sends it over to Bevy. And now Bevy will complete the cycle over to Temper. Going up along the boards, here's Tim Price, right-handed shot wearing number 3. Digs down into the corner, spins around, looks at his options. DiGregorio, a nice tic-tac pass, however, one too many. DiGregorio and Price now battling down the corner. Price comes out with it, sends it back to Bevy. Bevy with a shot on from afar, tipped down in front by DiGregorio, still loose. Good poke check from the Northeastern goalie. Northeastern now moving in on the attack. Good poke check by Bevy to drive him to the outside. Northeastern shot from the point. Hits the bar and stays out. And again, another shot off the post for Northeastern. Still loose behind the Temple net there. In trouble here. Still loose outside of the cage. Northeastern all around, but not inside again. DiGregorio streaking up the wing for the Owls. Drops it back for Bevy. Bevy's got Ryan coming off the bench. Shane Ryan back over to Bevy, who's working with DiGregorio and Price. Still down low. Under a minute remaining in the first period. Bevy works it in. Backhand shot. Lackadaisically handed by the Northeastern goalie. DiGregorio will send that back around, and Bevy will chase with 36 seconds remaining in the first. Bevy will whip it around the boards to Luca Ront, one of the standouts of the D1 level last year. Ryan now works through a defender with 24 seconds remaining in the first period. He'll fire that shot from afar, easily handled by the Northeastern goalie. 18.1 remaining in the first. The Owls will go with Cozy and Garant up front off the draw. Bevy and Ryan on defense. However, Northeastern wins it. Traps behind. Looks like they will pin it in their own boards. 10 seconds remaining. Nice play by Bevy. Can he get a last second shot here? 4 seconds left. Puts it on net. Just misses wide. So Northeastern strikes once off of multiple chances as they take a 1-0 lead into the second period. Back to second period underway. It's about 30 seconds in. Temple now defending the top portion of the screen. They'll be shooting down in the bottom. Here comes our first attempt. Down here, Luke Arant's going to fire a shot. He scores! Luke Arant picks his corner and ties this game at 1. Sweet shot coming down off the rush. The right-handed shot went glove side high, and this game is tied. So at the 11:09 mark, Northeastern now rushing up the left-hand side. Big hit down in the corner. And an owl is down hard. It looks like Matthew Pemper in the corner. They're going to get Northeastern on a call here, I believe. 10:40 remaining. Game tied at 1. That was Pemper who ran behind the play. Face off now. In the offensive zone for the Owls. Shot from the point by Bebby. Looks like it hit the post off of a Pemper deflection in front. A lot of action going on down in front. Phillips works it down to Pemper. Pemper will regroup. Back out to Bebby. Bebby with the shot on. Blocked by Toy. Pemper and Zaylot working down low. Phillips and Bebby up high. Phillips winds up. Shot. Nice glove save. 1:24 remaining on the power play after a sweet glove save from the Northeastern goalie. Face off one back by Northeastern, who will send that one out of play. Face-off just outside the zone is won by Matt Phillips. A lot of defensemen taking draws here for Temple. Shot on, tipped by Pemper just wide. Tim Price controls for the Owls. Phillips down low. Price with a shot, again deflected out of play. 1 minute exactly remaining, and the ref indicates another offensive zone draw. Pemper will go out for Garant, the lone goal scorer for the Owls so far this game. Phillips on the draw again against Toy. After Toy digs for it, it's finally won out by the Owls. Bebby with a shot on, no tip this time, and it just misses the net. Price will corral it on the lower part of the screen. Price with a drop pass to Phillips, not on the same page and not strong enough. Northeastern will work the other way. Phillips will run him into the boards, and he will flop down on top of the puck with 31 remaining in the power play. Bebby's coming up with a head full of steam. He's got Price with him. Garant creeping back door. Price lost control of the puck. Bebby can't regain, and now Northeastern will clear with under 20 remaining on the Owls power play. Phillips coming dead up the ice with a head full of steam. Will he wind up? Will he take a shot? Right into the goalie's chest, but he makes a save. Not out yet. Price looking across for Phillips. That one shot on net, tipped down by Garant. However, another save, and we are back to even strength. Price working behind the net. He will go and chase his man. .8:20 remaining in the second period. Very fast-paced action here between Northeastern and Temple D1. Nice turnover, calls it center by Garant. Price lost control of the puck there. Nearly hit someone on the Temple bench, however, refs say play on. Nice pass across. Pemper winds up. He scores! Matthew Pemper with a rip. 2-1 Owls at the 7:59 mark in the second period. 2 goals off of rushes and rips for the Owls. Got to keep that going here in the second period. They went far side both times. We'll see if the Owls can keep it up. Northeastern sends it in deep as they've been tending to have that man creeping either behind the goal line or very close to it. Ryan will settle it back around that. Pemper holds possession behind the net. Outlet pass for DiGregorio. Dropped it back to Ryan. Ryan tip in front for Cozy, nobody home. DiGregorio back out to center and will regroup to Pemper, who will take it behind the Owls' net. Another stretch pass as Shane Ryan tries to walk in. Puck winds up loose in the corner. Melvin goes awkwardly into the boards, however, he keeps possession. Owls traps as them forcing another long errant pass by Northeastern. Nice drop pass by DiGregorio. Pemper shoots. Nice save by Lindsey Bryson again. 6:43 remaining in the second period. Zaylot working with Phillips to the forward position now. I believe we've seen Phillips bounce back between forward and defense several times already in this game. The B Division Player of the Year last year, now playing at the top level in the ECRHA. Now Bebby just gets beat on the outside. However, Northeastern loses possession in the zone, and Zaylot will attempt to send it back and regroup. However, another turnover, and Phillips will now settle. Ryan working up the right-hand board. Puck comes behind the net. Bebby will contain his man in the corners. Now there's a tussle in front. Phillips is down under a Northeastern player. Big screen in front. Either blocked down by Jastro or Phillips. Somehow it stayed out. Too hard of a pass in from Toy by Northeastern. Bebby will take it, needs to send it around. Just gets it off as he's sliding down. Owls trying to have an odd man rush the other way. Phillips steps into the zone, takes a shot. Twice, 3 times, he scores! Matt Phillips on the double pump fake, glove side high. 3-1 Owls. Gonna have to go back and watch that one. Phillips comes up with speed into the zone. Faked it twice, finally let it rip. 2-goal lead for the Owls. Owls win another face-off. They didn't start off on the greatest foot with that. Now they're finally winning some. Garant gets run into over at the bench. Now finally Garant takes a shot, just misses wide. Northeastern clears it out in a bit of a panic. Owls with the pressure on now. Garant sends it over to Bebby with the rip. Bebby just misses wide. That one turned over. Pemper comes into the slot, one-on-one. Pad save. 4:41 remaining. The Owls are now firing on all cylinders. Northeastern attempts to send it out from behind their own cage. They will regroup. Marinovich sends it up to Melvin, unable to connect. Now the other way. Here comes Tim Price for the Owls. Price drops it. Pemper's just going to send it deep. And Pemper's going to go on a trip. A little bit of a weak call. It looks like he got most of his stick. And Pemper will head to the box for 2 minutes. .355 remaining. We'll see if the Northeastern squad is able to strike here. That one cleared all the way down by Shane Ryan. That one just rings off the pipe for Northeastern. The other way, here comes Rob DiGregorio. No call on the slash there, however. They got Pemper on something similar just a couple seconds ago, and finally cleared out by DiGregorio again. Northeastern set up, have their man in front. Phillips peels off him to go play it. They work it all the way around. Shot from the low slot. Big blocker saved by Jastrow. Minute and 2 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Owls. They'll take a full change here and bring out Zaylot, Bebby, and Garant in the triangle. Northeastern now working behind the net. Tries to dangle out in front, unable to, shut down by Bebby. The big left-handed stick. Now another big blocker save from Jastrow. They're really pounding him on that side after they snuck one by him earlier. Top right part of your screen, Northeastern now sets it back high. We do have a guy creeping backdoor. Block. Pad saved by Jastrow. 20 seconds left in the kill. They finally hit that man back door. Back to the guy in the slot. Bouncing puck. He finally peels off. Back door. Unable to connect. Still loose in front. From his knees, able to regroup it out to the point. Shot down low. Another backdoor pass coming. Unable to get there. Rolls off the outside of the cage. Owls are back at even strength. Northeastern, still with heavy pressure. Owls still haven't been able to clear. Pemper with fresh legs coming out of the box. Not quite able to get there. Minute and a half remaining in the second period. That one, another left pad save from Jastrow. Owls desperately need a clear here, as it's been several minutes now in their own zone. Bebby whacking away at it. Top right part of your screen. Finally, Luke Garant moving out with the puck, fighting off two Northeastern defenders. Now Northeastern gonna go the other way. The Owls have some very tired legs out on the ice right now. That one hits Jastrow in the chest, man in front. Jastrow's falling around down there. Minute remaining in the period. Northeastern still with heavy pressure. That one sent back out. Shot from the point. Good block by Luke Garant. That one sent across. Now they have a guy backdoor. He shoots. Aiming for the stick, unable to connect. 40 seconds left. Finally cleared all the way down, and the Owls are able to get 3 off. Now they've got a 3-on-1. Got to be careful. They got caught on a second period change there. Sliding attempt. 3-on-0. Jastrow with a save. A split save from Steven Jastrow and a 3-on-0. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Owls desperately need to escape here to hold the momentum going into the third. This one sent all the way back down off a deflected pass by Temper. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Northeastern puts a shot on net. Jastro almost caught sleeping with a nice glove save. It appears his eyes weren't on the play there. Northeastern almost snuck one by. Nonetheless, we head into the third period with a 3-1 Owls lead.